Apple CEO Tim Cook said, "There is more noise in the world than change." Picture the scene. A group of executives at an off-site meeting to discuss the company's strategic direction. They begin with a review of the market, including patterns, trends, and influential factors. Before long, the conversation is pulling them like a riptide further and further out into their industry's vast sea of information and data. Several hours later, they're no closer to determining their strategic direction because they haven't been able to separate the noise from what's truly relevant to the business. The noise can be described as those factors that are extraneous, irrelevant, or things that you cannot influence. How much time does your group spend on noise? As I facilitated strategic thinking and planning sessions around the world, I've identified 4 sources of noise. Number 1, investors. Too often, executives at publicly held companies make decisions to satisfy the attainment of short-term numbers to appease shareholders at the expense of long-term strategy. However, 2 of today's most effective leaders, Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, and Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase, recently called for the end of quarterly earnings guidance. As Buffett said, when companies get where they're sort of living by so-called making the numbers, they do a lot of things that really are counter to the long-term interests of the business. Number 2, competitors. While it's important to continually assess competitors' capabilities and activities, too many managers are needlessly reacting to their competition. Oftentimes, a company's reaction to a competitor activity actually makes them more similar to the competitor and erases their differentiation. Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, said, "If you base your strategy on what competitors are doing, then, because the competitive environment changes so rapidly, you'd have to change your strategy all the time." Number 3, industry publications. The journals and websites providing industry news report on hot topics and emerging trends. While it's helpful to have a cursory understanding of these topics and trends, it's easy to allow them to muddy one's thinking. Just because there is a feature article on artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, or big data doesn't mean they should be an overriding part of your strategy conversations unless there is a clear and relevant link to your business goals. Number 4, internal chatter. From the flavor of the month initiatives to the fire drills, there are internal sources of noise that can quickly hijack your time and attention. If your team lacks clear goals or destinations and strategies and guardrails, then you'll constantly be pulled into situations that don't deserve your energy. Being strategic means saying no to some internal requests that don't bring the most value to the group. An effective exercise for starting a strategy conversation about your business is the contextual radar. The contextual radar contains 4 quadrants representing market, customers, competitors, and company. The team identifies the factors that are top of mind for each of those 4 areas, including market patterns and trends, customer thinking and behavior, competitor activities, and company culture, process, systems, etc. A productive next step is to then cross out those factors that represent noise, extraneous and irrelevant things that you're not able to influence. This helps the conversation stay on track because you've removed the noise and are now able to focus on what's most important. Research shows that teams are 40% more committed to executing strategies when they believe their leader has set clear strategic direction. Eliminate the noise, soundproof your strategy, and give your team a clear path to focus. To explore more than 200 resources to develop your strategic thinking and planning capabilities, visit strategyskills.com.